Welcome to basking in God's grace. Today's devotion is found in 2 Samuel chapter 7 verse 12, where it says, "When your days are fulfilled, in your rest with your fathers, I will set up your seed after you, who will come from your body, and I will establish his kingdom strong." When King David was settled in his palace, and the Lord had given him rest from all the surrounding enemies, he commanded Nathan to build a temple for the ark of God, because it has been placed in a tent for a long time. But the Lord appeared to Nathan, the prophet, in a vision. God said to Nathan that he had never lived in a house from the day he brought the Israelites out of Egypt, and he never complained. Instead, God declares that he will be the one to provide a homeland for the Israelites, planting them in a secure place where they will never be disturbed, and will give them rest from all their enemies. God further said, "When you die and are buried with your ancestors, I will raise you up one of your descendants, your own offspring, and I will make his kingdom strong." David's request was good, but God said no. This does not mean that God rejected David. In fact, God was planning to do even something greater in David's life than allowing him the prestige of building the temple. Although God turned down David's request, he promised to continue his dynasty forever. David's earthly dynasty ended 4 centuries later, but the promise of God to David was fulfilled in Matthew chapter 1 verse 1, where we read that Jesus was a descendant of Abraham, the father of all the Jews, indirect descendant of David. This is the ultimate fulfillment of God's promise when he said to David, "I will raise up one of your descendants, your own offspring, and I will make his kingdom strong." Spiritually speaking, God brought Jesus on earth, not only for the Jews, but to the whole world. This is the reason why we read from Hebrews chapter 13 verse 12, and it says, "Therefore Jesus also, that he might sanctify the people through his own blood, suffered outside of the city gate." This means that his sacrifice is not only for the Jews inside the city, but also for the people outside, meaning even the Gentiles like us will benefit from him. Like David, we have plans in life, but God sometimes says no, because he has greater plan and will for us. And that is to benefit from the finished work of his Son on the cross, who died outside the city gate. For God knows that if we are in Christ, our plans will always be directed for our own good, for the good of others, and for God's glory. May we always focus on Jesus, the author and perfecter of our faith, as his plan in our lives be fulfilled. Thank you for tuning in. Keep basking.